What's going on, Vol fans? What's up, YouTubes? What's up, Facebook? We're back. Got the VFL national champion legend and the inventor of the Icky Shuffle. You didn't know I invented the Icky Shuffle, did you? I could do the Icky Shuffle better than Icky Woods. You know that? You want to see me do it?
Hey, I believe you.
I had some moves back in the day. Hey, we got to thank our sponsors, Billy. Pay the Bills, Hound Dogs in Knoxville on Kingston Pike. Jesse and Don down there. They got everything you can think of, Tennessee Orange. Everything. Valves, stem covers, license plates, shirts. They got every kind of T-shirt and hat you can think of down there.
They got everything down there, Bobby. Everything.
And they've been there forever, and they're locally owned. We got to help out the local people that are suffering right now. And veteran-owned, Blue Water Climate Control, Billy Ratliff's personal HVAC AC company. They come out here. They give Billy and I, what do you call that, a medallion?
Yes.
From the USS Tennessee. It ain't the USS Minnow. That's Gilligan's Island. This is a real boat. No, it was a submarine, wasn't it? Submarine.
Yeah, submarine.
Yeah. USS Tennessee. Navy retired. Jeremy down there at Blue Water Climate Control. Great people. And I'm not just saying that because his logo is up on the screen. We've got to know him personally. And they're honest. They're veteran-owned, local business. And they're running a special right now, giving away free furnace. What is it? First 40 people, and they're taking deposits. I think it's from October through December or something. Maybe September, October, November. But it's for the free furnace. They're also mentioned Volunteer Roadshow. We got to show these guys that it's worth being a partner with the Volunteer Roadshow and get people out there that needs work done on their AC, HVAC, heater. It's getting cold out there, Billy. I was out there just a minute ago, and it's getting chilly. It's probably, 65?
It's cold out there, man. Well, I like it. Being a big man, I don't have to worry about sweating now. So I just leave my windows open, and I stay cool all night.
Yep. Well, this is where the real service comes in. Hound Dogs is a great place to get your UT apparel. Blue Water Climate Control is a great place to get your HVAC, AC, heater, furnace serviced. But if you want to pay the rent, Billy, you need to come to Catfish's betting service. Because I was looking over the lines, Billy. I'm going to be rich at the end of the week. You may not even see me next week on the Volunteer Roadshow. I'm going to make so much money.
Well, guys, you all saw it last year.
Wait. Let's talk about the last half of the year.
Well, Bobby, the last half of the year, you couldn't bet.
Well, if I had money to bet, I was calling it on the show. See, when I ran out of money, that's when I was on fire. I was on fire last year. I was perfect from all through November and through the national championship. I was perfect. But I didn't have no money in bet now.
See, I can vouch for that. He was perfect, guys. I mean, he had a heck of an end of the year, on paper. So, we gonna call him the end of the year paper champ.
Hey, I'm a champ. I'm a champ. Hey, I don't have no money to bet now, so I believe that ought to be a reason why y'all need to listen to me and not Billy. Billy's good. He knows his betting. He knows his numbers and all that. He puts too much thought into it. I come from the heart, Billy. I come from the heart.
And see, and that's what I try to tell people. When you're doing anything like that, wagering or betting, you got to take that factor out of it. You got to take your heart out of the game when it comes to numbers, because the numbers don't lie. Well, your heart do.
We're fixing to show y'all just what I mean. When I say heart, I mean that gut feeling. When you hear a number and you say, all right, Miami favored by 11 over FSU. You hear that, you get a gut feeling one way or the other, and you go with the gut feeling. You start thinking about it, Billy. That's when you mess up. The first thing, if you just go by that first gut feeling, you'll be rich.
I would say that's true. But, that's why I say if you was to do that all the time, yeah, I think you would be rich.
I'm going to scratch up a few $100 and I'm going to put it in the account And I'm gonna be rich Monday.
Let's see it. I want to. Let's enough with the talk, and let's make the walk.
Hey, let's get the game of the week out of the way. The SEC game of the week. The number one game of the week is Tennessee, South Carolina.
I'm with you there, Bob. I mean, it should be a pretty good game, but I think Tennessee is going to do what they should and come out on top. You know, there's only, 3.5 point favorite. I look to see Tennessee win it at least by 10 points.
At least. When I seen that 3.5, that was like slapping your mama in the face. That was a disrespect. And then I knew I should load up on Tennessee when I seen on ESPN. You know, ESPN, they hate Tennessee. Yes. They hate everything about Tennessee. They said, well, go with Tennessee because they're going to win by 6.5. That just means we're going to win by at least 13, maybe 21.
Well, I mean, I would love for the Vols to come out and start it off right with this year's team, because this team, they deserve it. I mean, it's that time for them to get back out there and show people that they're the real deal. And I think that Coach Pruitt has those guys ready to go, and I think we'll see 70 kids this coming weekend showing up and showing Volunteer Nation that they're ready to play ball.
Well, that's our pick. Y'all heard it. Load up, bet the house on Tennessee to win by 3.5. And it don't even really matter what the point spread is. It's probably going to change between today and tomorrow. It don't matter if it's 6.5. Tennessee's going to win by at least 10. You agree with that, Billy? At least 10?
Most definitely. I know they will, man. At least 10 is the minimum that I think we'll win by this weekend. And
see, there's a lot of struggling people out there that watching this, Billy, that wondering, first of the month's coming up. How am I going to pay rent? This is how you pay rent. Load up on Tennessee, South Carolina. The over and under, I wouldn't touch that with a wooden stick. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. 43.5. If I had to go, you talking about gut feeling. If I had to go by gut feeling, I would go with the under.
Well, if I was to touch the over and under, I'm most difficult with the over. I'm not sure what you said over.
43.5.
Oh, yeah,
that's a low number, but
it's a low number. It's because they're thinking that
game
it's the same two teams that they saw last year, and they're not expecting Tennessee to be anything different as far as explosiveness. I think they're going to be a lot better than what we've been giving them credit for this year. And this is the first time that these kids have had the same coaches back-to-back years. Especially with the quarterback situation. I think JG would come out and show the world that he is, he's ready to play. Everybody still think he has a head case and things like that, but he's human.
Well, let's just go into the game. I think this is going to be maybe not this first game, because there's a lot that goes on. They haven't had the normal practices. They haven't been able to bust it up. They probably haven't been the first fight on the practice field, and that's what you, Jeff Coleman, Fred White, all you guys have told me, that there were fights on the football pit field, and Chavis and Cutcliffe and Fulmer loved it when y'all got into fights and y'all were best friends at Gibbs Hall after practice.
Hey, if you're not fighting in practice, something ain't right, because ain't nobody kicking no tails. And me, if I'm getting my tail kicked, I'm going to try to get you back in the end, though.
Yeah. Well, they haven't had the opportunity to really get in fights. I mean, what kind of practices are they having right now? Not much of anything.
Well, I mean, they're having practice. I mean, I haven't had a chance to get over there myself.
But they ain't hitting like they normally do.
I mean, they're still hitting. They got to hit in order for them to get ready to play, because if they don't do no hitting at all.
Well, they are, but they haven't had the time that they normally have, full contact like they have in past years.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, Pruitt surely would get the guys some contact, right, if they don't have enough time or not. I mean, I know they have chopped down the time practice-wise since the pandemic and COVID and stuff, but they still have to have contact.
That brings up a point, Billy. I just saw, where was it, Houston and Notre Dame, or there was 2 or 3 teams that have rescheduled games to the end of the year. What do you think that's going to do? I mean, what kind of flexibility do we have to reschedule a game? I mean, we're talking rescheduling in the middle of December when it's cold and a well digger's, what?
Well, I think it'll be similar to what has been in the past, Bobby. Just thinking about when we had to reschedule the game for Florida. And
That turned out good for us.
Yes, I mean, because sometimes it helps us and sometimes it hurts us. But I think it's going to be different this year because there still will be possibilities that those teams wouldn't even play those games.
It's a possibility. And you got Ohio State. They're trying to Michigan, all them guys up in the Big Ten. They seen what they were missing out on, and they pretty much had a mutiny. Said, we need some football. We need some football on the TV. We need to go out there and play football. These other conferences are going to get ahead. What do you think the biggest factor was on them changing their mind?
Come on now, Bob. Everybody knows the
money
reason for that, man.
Money.
The dollar bill changes a lot of people's mind all the time, man. And that's, college football period. It's a very fun sport. It does a lot of things to the human soul, Bobby.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad it happened. Like I told you, man, I'm glad they at least going to try for at least 1 week.
Even if it wasn't directly about money, which we know money is what makes the world go round, I think it had a lot to do with recruiting, which has to do with money. It all comes back to money. They seen what kind of edge the SEC's already got a big edge on the Big Ten on recruiting. And they seen they're going to be on TV every week and we're not going to be on TV. What is that going to do with recruiting? That's going to put us light years. They may never have another team in the college football playoff. That's how much of a snowball effect that could have had.
Well, I'll tell you this, who it helps is the actual recruits, because you get the recruits that actually commit early, and that's what I've read with some of my ex-teammates that have been saying on social media, saying, you guys better go ahead and commit and go ahead and sign, because when this pandemic happened, these coaches are not going to be able to go out and find that talent, or it's going to be harder for them to get out there and look for it. So if they already seen you, they know they want you, go ahead and commit right away, because you can't play games anymore with the recruiting world right now, because there's no way for them to come out and check you out and take the time to watch your film and see who you are. I mean, they're going to be almost like first come, first serve in a sense soon.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, guys, that's our pick of the week. Load up on Tennessee, South Carolina. Hey, if you could pick up a few bucks on JG to win the Heisman, I'd throw $1 or $2. Because if Joe Burrow, don't shake your head. If Joe Burrow can go from the doghouse to the Heisman in 1 year, why can't JG?
I'm going to tell you why.
We don't have a coach.
Nope. I'm going to give you an example, and I'm going to give you initials. PM.
Peyton Manning? Is that what you're talking about?
If Peyton Manning can't win the Heisman at Tennessee.
That's true. That is true. But, I'm a fan. I'm not a player like you. I'm just a fan that talks trash out here and just likes to flap his gums and hear himself talk. So I can say that. Hey, who do you think is going to have the better year? Right now, I want it on paper, and I'm writing it down. Eric Gray or Ty Chandler? I got Ty Chandler. That's going against the grain right there.
I'm going to vouch. I'm going to go ahead and say the same thing. He had a very quiet year last year. I mean, Chandler, and I think he's probably. I mean, I don't even know just by since I haven't heard anything from him over there. Or even been over there to a practice. A lot of people are going about what we saw with Gray at the end of the year. He did a lot of flashes and stuff.
Yep.
But you also got to think about this here. I mean, when I think about it, is why wasn't Gray playing at the beginning of the season? Why wasn't he in there?
Good question.
Especially when our running backs were not doing that well all season until we got someone on the show and told us what it takes to be a true running back. And all of a sudden –
we need to get him back on.
And all of a sudden, guess what happened?
We need to get Riggs back on the show.
When Gerald got on the show and told us the reason why you have to be good at Tennessee and what makes a good running back great, he said it wasn't the first 4 yards.
It was the second 4 because the first 4 was the O-line.
Yeah, he said the first 4 was a gimme. And that's just laying down forward, and the offensive line got those for you. He said after that, that's what happened. And sure enough, guess what happened? Man,
that means Coach Pruitt watches the Volunteer Roadshow.
Yes.
He heard Gerald Riggs talk about it on our show last year.
Yes.
We need to get him back on here. He was a great time on the show.
He's in coaching now. He's coaching some high school ball. I think that school in Alabama.
Yep, right across the line. He's got that Beast Mode University. Is it Beast Mode or Beast University?
Yeah,
Beast University. Training
yeah.
kids.
Beast University. He's doing good, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like I even put my nephew in training down there. He was doing good until he got hurt, and I think when he saw those girls down there out working him, he couldn't believe there was girls in there training like the guys were training the girls. Hey, they was getting after it.
Oh yeah, and see that whole training thing is a whole nother world. But I'm just excited. Finally, football on Catfish's TV. The football gods heard me, and they knew they better have some football on Catfish's TV before he has a heart attack.
Oh wow, man! I accidentally ran across the ticket prices are costing down there in South Carolina.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Upper level 135.
Well, the cheapest one right now I see is $90.
My gosh. Well, I'd pay it if I could get down, and we're going to go to some away games. I don't know if it'll be this year because of the COVID, but we've already talked about some plans to get on some of the away games. I'd love to go to Between the Hedges. You're undefeated down there, aren't you?
Oh yes.
You've never lost Between the Hedges.
No, never.
Never lost in Birmingham when we was playing at Legion Field.
Bobby, I've only lost to one ACC school.
Never lost Williams Bryce. You lost at the Swamp, but a lot of people lost at the Swamp back in the 90s.
Oh. Only school I ever lost to in SEC was
Florida Gators.
Man,
I can't stand Florida. Well, anyway, let's get on out of here. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Blue Water Climate Control. Go tell them Catfish sent you. Or Billy. Let's have a contest. How many people can say who sent them down there? You know, tell them Catfish, and Billy will probably have a prize. I don't know. We'll talk to Blue Water. And go see Hound Dogs. You get a 10% discount, Billy. And I tell everybody that. They said they'll send me a picture. Look what all I got down there at Hound Dogs. I said, did you tell them about the 10%? Nope. He said, man, I forgot. I said, you can't go get your money back now that you forgot. So don't forget. That's how people know how people are coming in there to see them.
And what make them forget, Bobby, is when they get into that store and they see all those products and things
everything
they have. And, because, there's a lot of guys that don't get to see that kind of Tennessee stuff because they're in a smaller city that they don't have the opportunity to get that stuff. And it's like a kid in a candy store.
Yep. And don't forget, we're selling some merch too. I just brought this over here. Autographable footballs, anything you buy from the store. Who's that signed by? Eric Westmoreland. He was over here the other day. We got him to sign that. We'll get Billy to sign it for you. We got masks. Did I tell him about the mask? VolunteerRoadshow.com. These are reusable masks. And see, I didn't know what this pocket for. Like that little pocket on your jeans that you don't know why it's there. And I found out it's for a watch the other day. Well, there was a pocket right here. I said, what the heck they got that for? Well, evidently they make these filters that you can put in this little pocket.
It's like a little filter.
Yeah, we got these for sale. We got many help. Man, you name it, volunteerroadshow.com. On the website, click on store and go shop. And you need to go on over there and check us out. Email Bobby C at Volunteer Roadshow, and if you want the 20% off, we'll send it to you. We're going to send it to all profile people that sign up for a profile. That's how we're going to do it, Billy. Sign up for a profile on volunteerroadshow.com, and you'll automatically get 20% off of your first order. Can't beat that. Well, anyway, y'all have been watching us for a while. They've been watching me and you for, this is our second season together?
Yep.
Y'all know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. I'm going to tell you something right now. We're going to put Will Muschamp in the unemployment line Saturday night about 11 o'clock. I promise you that.
Oh, man, after the first week, wow.